So I was hoping you could take us back to being the youngest ADG you can remember and let us know what it sounded like to be you before you had like real control over the music in your world.
Okay. As far as back, yeah, when the biggest band that was played in my house when I was younger, my mom and my stepdad's probably favorite band is the Doors.
Okay.
Like that's why still to this day when I hear People Are Strange, I'm just like, man, this song is like one of my favorite songs of all time. Um, they were playing the Doors, they're playing the Eagles, just all that CCR, all of that, and yeah, like the tape decks. Like my mom like would get pissed off because like when I would start to hear a song on the radio that I like that I want, I would just put um actual tape over the top so you can record it, and then and then my mom would come back and try and play these tapes, and she'd be like, it'd be a whole different shit. And she'd
She
just
would
be pissed.
like you would like
She'd be
so
pissed.
she would like buy like the actual tape of like the Doors or whatever, and then you would get mad excited and have to get this track down. So you were like dubbing over her actual tapes to get your
Yeah,
shit. Respect,
yeah,
ADG.
yeah. She was pissed. But yeah, so but even like back then, like even those tapes, like the you could talk into the speaker a certain way, and set it up on this tape deck that I had that like it would actually record your voice. So I put my voice like doing like the mixtape shit, like talking between songs,
No
and like I
way.
was doing that shit
How
when I
how
was when I was like a little kid, and then
how did you figure that
yeah,
out? Like, so you're like a young Eddie G, and you just figured out how to reverse engineer a speaker into a microphone.
yeah.
That's fucking cool.
Yeah, for sure. And I think a big thing for me, like why like I got into entertainment. I was kind of like already kind of into music, but not like fully like thinking like this is something I want to do. But
Right.
the moment that got me kind of like entertainment, I was nine. And my dad's a tour bus driver, right? So it was um March break, and we went down to Branson, Missouri. And for like those who don't know, like that town's like it's a tourist spot. They have a lot of comedy festivals. They have a lot of like just shows, right? It's a very tourist spot. And I actually seen Jeff Foxworthy when I was down there.
Nice.
Yeah, yeah. But my dad said like every show that we went to, I was like standing like at the edge of my seat, just like staring. Like I was I wouldn't talk to him. I would just like be like, hey, I'm like, oh, I want to watch this. And like when I came back, I had the creative bug.
So basically, you got to go on tour with your dad because your dad was the tour guy that went with all the
Yeah.
bands and shit. So you just got to go to
But
all
no,
these.
it wasn't bands. It was like
Oh,
he had the senior citizens. It was
okay.
all it was all comedy shows. It was all kind of
Oh, like the
um
guided tours and shit, like where people.
yeah, yeah.
Okay.
It was like that, but he took me down to that one because there was all these different shows and stuff like that, and I got to see comedians. I got to see musicians. I got to see different art people doing different things, and all of those shows, I was just hooked. I was like I have to keep on watching these. So then when I came back, like that was like when I knew like I was like um I didn't know exactly what I wanted to do, but I had a creative bug.
Yeah, that's such a cool experience. Like, I don't think. I mean, I saw a couple of live things when I was young, but it was more like a Disney on Ice kind of thing, more than it was like
Yeah.
going to like a just all this adult entertainment as a kid. Because it's kind of like when your dad would let you or whoever would let you watch like an action movie and the booby scene would pop up, but you got to look at the boobies that time. It's kind of like getting exposed to the world a bit like that, which is fucking
For
cool.
sure,
So,
for sure.
so you were already like practicing your mixtape game. You're getting yourself on. Were you like interested in other kinds of arts when you were young? Were you like a drawer? Like, were you into that kind of world as well?
Uh, yes. Yeah. I started off with drawing, but I didn't really go too far with it. It wasn't really that good.
Fair enough. Were you what other kinds of stuff was a young Eddie G up to before he gets into like the more high school era of life?
We were like fucking like wild little kids. Like we were like doing I remember like the cop like we were fucking around doing some wild shit, and the cop was telling us like, hey, if you guys keep this up like after 12, you can really start getting like serious like things happen, right. And like I was like 10, I was like, shit, we still got time to fuck around. Like like we were we were car hopping, smoking weed, fucking just doing like dumb shit.
I guess in a small town, you end up getting into some dumb shit a little quicker than you do in Montreal. And well, in
Like
my Montreal existence, because there's a lot of Montreal existence.
for sure, back then, one of the main things we got from car hopping was Canadian Tire money. And I remember we would save that shit up and go buy like basketball nets and shit, and just
Yeah, that's a
other shit.
hustle.
Yeah, yeah.
I guess most people would just kind of whine a little bit, losing Canadian Tire money versus being like really mad about it. That's a fresh hustle.
But I remember like going in like buying big shit with all Canadian Tire money and just them looking at it us as little kids, like where the fuck are you guys get this Canadian Tire money?
So what point do you really start to get into music more as like a fan of it? Like you start having, yo, I like this band or I like this rapper or whoever. Do you remember like some of the like what your like first favorite song was?
Well, I really got into Corn. Corn was my favorite band for a long time. Um, and then I actually bought the Family Values VHS, and I was playing that, and Cube came on, and the song Wicked, because I already had knew the Corn version, but when Cube came on and did it, I was like, oh, like what's that? That's when I first learned people do versions of other people's songs.
Mm.
Like I didn't know that. Like I didn't know like that was a thing. And then I started listening to more Cube, and from there I heard Dre. From there I heard Snoop, and I heard Tupac, and I just started like the whole hip hop journey from there.
So how do you get music at this time in your life? Like, do you have access to the internet? Is it much music? Is it local stores, friends? Like, how do you actually get new music into your world or get up to date on what's popping?
It was much music. The internet wasn't like back then if you actually buy a CD and go to the website for like the band, it would show a couple pictures. Sometimes it would play a song because that's what the internet was. That was like the late '90s.
So you were
No,
already online in the late '90s.
yeah,
That's fresh. Um, so you're basically out there relying on the more conventional means of it, your
yeah.
friends, like
It was much music. It was my friends. It was um radio. You know, just the normal. Yeah.
and so at this time when you start getting into music like that, are you personally interested in rapping at this point, or is this something that comes later on?
It came later on. Um, I remember I had a friend, Tony Armstrong. Me and him would get drunk, and he would start rapping. And like me, I thought I'd just do something to it, so I'd be like, boom, tsh, boom, boom. Tsh. I just help him out with that, right? Like a kind of like a a little small beatbox. And then I remember a friend of his came down. Both these guys were from Toronto, and his other friend started dropping the beatbox. So then like he's like, "Yo, drop something." So I just thought of something. I said the like one little line. They're like, "Oh!" And like it started from there. And from like there, like we like whenever we would be like walking somewhere or we'd be at a party or something like that, we'd like drop a couple lines, and then that's how the whole. And then just start freestyle more.
So this is all going on in high school, or like is it during the
Yeah, this is yeah, like grade 9.
And during the high school phase of your life, what were some of the stuff you were up to? So like, were you so you're freestyling around? Were you involved in performing at any kinds of things, other endeavors that are like super nifty?
Just as far as that, like just like we rap in the hallway, like in the hallways of high school, and people would stop and listen to us. And back then, it wasn't like there was like three rappers in my high school.
Hmm.
It isn't like how like rap became like where everybody rapped. It was like there was literally three rappers in my high school.
And did y'all like work together? Was it like the three rappers united, or was it more like a
Uh,
competitive vibe?
Two of us did, and the other guy didn't really come around. Like when we were freestyling, but we always heard about him rapping.
So so basically, there's not a huge like scene or anything popping. Is hip hop like in general popular up? And this is Bramford you're in at this point, right?
Yeah, at the time, uh, like DMX was like, I mean, we were all barking and growling at each other and shit like that. Like all of us loved DMX back then. Like our high school was DMX out. Um, yeah, DMX was like the biggest thing at the time. And like from there, like I actually started like having when Napster came around and Winamp, I would start burning like the instrumentals on CDs. And I have friends come over and we would just like take turns like freestyling. But we had kind of like rules of like so like whatever my freestyle was, if if the last thing I would end on, the other person would have to go off that.
Right.
So like we just like go in a circle and just like listen to instrumentals,
So basically, you spent a lot of your high school just kind of rapping with your boys.
rapping, smoking weed, chilling out. You know,
Were you like actually recording at this point, or was it more of a casual hobby?
um, probably not a grade 9, but like probably a grade 10. I got this I actually spent like $60, and I spent 40 on this program called Hip Hop EJ, where like it would it would come with drum lines, it would come with bass lines, and all you had to do is kind of put three of these things together. You'd be like horns, you know, put the drums, put the bass, and put the horns together, and like you have a simple beat, and I'd make songs off that shit.
I'm like 90% certain my dad bought this shit, and in high school
Hip Hop EJ.
I'm 90. I just googled it right now to look. I have memories of making beats on this shit.
Yeah.